he's thrilled with effort is what it sounds like,
Yeah,
and that
for
like
sure.
he ripped a lot of players in that March window, like there was just like, there was a lot of lackadaisical guys showing up just to hang out with their guys and go golfing and grab dinners and crap like that. So it sounds like the mentality has changed a little bit. AFC getting W's. That's what's exciting. Uh, they played on Saturday against Portland, the Thorns, and they get the W 1-0. The lone goal was from Alyssa Malonson, who that's her first professional goal. Uh, it was actually quite a goal. Uh what happened was Hawking and Taylor Huff were playing kind of a give and go game back and forth right around the edge of the 18-yard box, and then Hawking kind of sends it forward down the left end of the box toward the goal, and then Melanson from a near impossible angle just kind of roofs the shot home, and it was wild, and that thing's probably going to win goal of the week. It was incredible, and Stokowitz is probably going to win save of the week as well again. She's been playing incredibly well as well. A couple of other plays I do want to call out in the 9th minute. Oshawala hit a post in that means that she was close, but still no goal contributions, no assists or goals for her this season after leading the team last season. And in stoppage time, 5 minutes into stoppage time in the at the end of the game, Rachel Hill had a goal, but it was disallowed due to a handball. Uh, it was off of her head, not her hand. It was a terrible call. Um, and they didn't even go to VAR, but all the replays that we saw clearly showed it. Like her hand was up in the air, but it clearly hit like off of her head and her hair, but not her hand. So
Right.
just a terrible
I for
goal.
I
And
forgot to
then
put this in the notes. I'm glad you brought something up about the terrible call because that's
yeah,
something that I've noticed in the WNBA and the NWSL is the referees that it needs to step up, dude. The officiating in some of the
you're
women's
not
sports,
wrong.
it's
You're
not
not wrong,
good,
my
and
dude.
it's impacting the game. It's
Yeah.
impacting the game. So I hope the league makes that a both leagues make
Mhm.
that a huge priority this coming year to get better officiating coming in
Yeah.
because it's impacting the game and the watchability.
Ich scheiß dich nicht. The Portland Thorns, I had to say it in German to get around the censors. Um, the Portland Thorns had an opportunity. They almost scored uh like immediately after the disallowed goal, like in stoppage time. That like it like the ball was there and it just kind of went just past just wide off of a cross and then went out of bounds. But like um the scream the rage, the yell I would have yelled, that would have cut my power off there instead of the Mylar balloon that did the job a day later,
Yeah.
that's my voice alone would have ripped the power lines down in my neighborhood. uh if that ball goes in, but it didn't, thankfully. When you look at the advanced metrics, the expected goals, Portland probably should have had a goal at one point. Probably that last one that didn't quite sneak in, if we're being honest. Uh, but so it probably should have been a 1-1 game. Bay was a little bit fortunate to get out of there, but they are now up to 8th in the league. Remember, playoffs are top 8. So Portland is now in 7th after that L. Portland had been unbeaten in their last 4 as well. So it was a good time to beat somebody who was ahead of you in the standings, bring them a little bit closer, so that was great. Just looking at like some of the other stats, Portland had a lot more offensive chances in general, but most of them weren't good quality except for that last one that I talked about. They had way more corners. It was like 9-1. Uh, but Bay FC had like the goal that they had that was crazy good. And I like, uh, I don't know. In terms of just total chances created, though, like is 11 versus 10. So like overall, in terms of run of the game, it was fairly even. And um, Bay was lucky to get out of there with the W, I think. And thankfully so. Like I said, when you looking at the schedule coming up, you're playing the Orlando Pride on Friday. They're sitting in second in the standings right now. They're uh yeah, they're tied with the Washington Spirit for second. Casey Current is in first. You already lost to them handily, so uh, not going to worry about them just yet. So hopefully you're hosting them at home. It is going this past game was Pride game. This upcoming game against Orlando Pride is going to be Juneteenth game. So hopefully, everybody shows up and we can get get a W, and if not a W, get a draw out
Yeah.
of a really good opponent. I would be very happy with a draw unless they were ahead and surrendered a late lead. Then I would be disappointed. But
Right.
always want to have that caveat. But I mean, a draw in the grand scheme of things against a top flight team, that would be great. Uh, Abby Dahlkemper hasn't looked quite as good this year as she was when she came over initially in the middle of last season. So hopefully she finds it a little bit. Um, but we'll see how it. The defense is playing a lot better. We're starting to score a little bit more. The chances are starting to come. Uh, it's not showing up on the scoreboard yet, but they're attacking a lot more. They switched a few weeks ago. We talked about it to the 4-4-1-1 instead of the 4-3-3 that they were playing before, and it's just it has opened things up a lot more. And this past game, they had Rachel Kundanaji come off of the bench as a super sub, and she just was near unstoppable. And the chances were just they were there, and it just couldn't quite convert. So I'm excited for that. For the energy that she provided doing that, and maybe this was a one-time thing for her. Maybe she just needed a game coming off of the bench a little bit fewer minutes to save her for the Orlando game, or maybe this is going to be the new normal going forward. I don't know what's in Montoya's mind sometimes, but this one seemed to work for the most part.
Vince, what they really need to do is adapt this a new tactical approach, and they should do total football. It was
Okay,
perfected by Coach Lasso.
yeah, sure, but I think they're aware of they're aware of Johan Cruyff. All right,
All right.
all right, you asshole. All right. Okay, so let's just switch gears to the US soccer. Both the men and the women had games. So we're gonna stick with the women first. On this past Tuesday on the 3rd, they get a 4-0 win versus Jamaica. This
Jesus.
game, yeah, it was not as close as that score might indicate. I'll tell you that, man. It was Becky Sauerbrun's bobblehead, and congratulations on the career game. Um, Honestly, of all the bobbleheads you see, hers is not that bad, man. Like I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse bobbleheads. So I'm kind of jealous that I wasn't able to get it. But the game was in St. Louis. I wasn't gonna make it out to St. Louis to get a bobblehead. But as far as the scoreboard itself, Ali Sentnor had 2 goals
She had a
about 10
game, huh?
minutes apart. Um, for starters, let's see. Uh, the 19th minute, Lily Johannes chipped a pass to the right side of the box to Emily Fox. She then one touched it back to Sentnor, who then just finished it. And then 10 minutes later, Alyssa Thompson's shot was blocked. Sentnor just kind of cleans up the loose change. And then in the second half, Lynn Biondolo comes on as a super sub, and she gets a brace in the 60th minute. She gets off a corner kick, served in by Ali Sentnor. The ball was headed toward the goal by Claire Hunton. Goalkeeper saves it, but Lynn Biondolo connects it in the air. She's been working. She had a leg injury earlier, So she had the leg strength built up from all that rehab, and she was able to do some really fancy freaking kick thing, and puts it home. And then in the 88th minute, Lindsay Heaps came on as a sub as well. From the midfield, she sends it deep to Avery Patterson. Patterson crosses the pass, and then Lynn just kind of crashes the net and scores that way. So there's your 4 goals that way. When you look at some of the stats for this game, just kind of fun facts. Carrie Abello gets her first cap as well. So again, we've talked about it a lot. The player pool being expanded. Emma Hayes is giving many players an opportunity to play and to just get a chance. And it's kind of tough to tell with this particular game because it was so one sided. But I didn't see her do anything wrong. It's tough to do anything wrong when everything's going your way.
Absolutely.
Valentola Joyce was in goal again, and it looks like she's the front runner at least to be the number one goalkeeper for the team. And uh, I think she maybe touched the ball 3 times the entire game. Yeah, it was just a very one sided affair. Jamaica had 2 shots total, none of them were on target. Possession, in terms of percentage, USA did have the bulk of percentage of the possession. What percentage do you think USA had?
65%,
I need you to go higher.
80%.
I need you to go higher.
Oh my god, 95%.
No, it wasn't quite that high. It was like
Okay.
92 at one point, but
Jesus.
it ended up finishing at about 83%, 83 to 17. Okay. Passes was 740 to 155. Um, pass accuracy was 89%. Okay. God, 12 corner kicks versus none for Jamaica. Yeah, 23 shots. 10 of them were on target for USA. Like just an annihilation on in every metric. I've that was that was a fun game. Everybody got to feel good, but I don't know what it really tells you other than USA is light years better than Jamaica right now, at least on the women's side. Like unfortunately, uh that's all that this game told you. And it was a nice farewell send off to Becky Sauerbrunn. And for those of you that didn't know, she like was able like she announced on her own podcast that like she is pregnant and was like expecting, but she was able to show it for the national TV audience for the first time. So some of the players didn't even know apparently, and so like there's in the background you could see like Kat Macario when Becky was like indicating the pregnancy, like with her hands over her belly, and you just see her like jaw drop going, so that was kind of a fun little meme that happened there. So just fun team US women's national team content there. Now on to the men's side. Right off the rip, they get a goal. They're playing Turkey, and they get a goal in 1 minute. Jack McGlynn. Unfortunately, they had a really bad 3 minute stretch, and they allowed 2 goals to Turkey in the 24th and 27th minute, and that's your ball game. They lose 2-1. That being said, Pochettino left that game feeling pretty good actually about the effort that the team put in. Overall, he liked he said that he liked what the team like the effort there was a lot of just positivity, I guess, is even though they didn't get the win, he was feeling good about the effort that the guys were putting in. Um he yeah, so it's a little weird, you have lost, and it was bad. Like the plays that led to those goals, they were bad. It was like you basically kicked the ball right into the Turkey player's feet. You kicked it directly at him. He takes it and puts it right back into the net. It was just bad, man. But that being said, it wasn't for lack of effort, and everybody was playing hard. And some of the players that did not end up being on this roster they end up getting replaced by a bunch of MLS guys. And these MLS guys, they're hungry and they want it and they're trying. And uh, maybe this pushes some of these veterans that weren't able to be on this roster, be it for rest reasons or coming back from injury reasons or just mental fatigue, or or whatever reason. um Club World Cups, or there's a lot of different reasons why about 7 or 8 guys who normally would be on this roster aren't. But these players that are in there, they may not be quite as good, but they're just as hungry and they're trying just as hard, or if not harder, than the other guys were. So
Yeah.
Poach's spin is running with that. And let's see. One of the quotes he said here, I just pulled this up. I think we need to be positive because today I think only we can talk about football action, soccer action. The team showed great energy, great mentality, great attitude. And then it's this type of game that maybe if you make a mistake, you can lose. But you made a mistake because it's soccer, it's football. That is why I think I am so happy about the way I think that we delivered the show and in the way that we tried to play. So he's thrilled with effort is what it sounds like,
Yeah.
and that
For
like
sure.
he ripped a lot of players in that March window. Like there was a lot of lackadaisical guys showing up just to hang out with their guys and go golfing and grab dinners and crap like that. So it sounds like the mentality has changed a little bit, and I like hearing that. About we're almost exactly 1 year away from the World Cup. I think it's like
Right.
1 year and 10 days or something like that. Like it is really close to the World Cup starting here in America. You're hosting the World Cup. And if you don't want to make an embarrassment of yourselves, if you want to advance out of the knock out into the knockout stages, which I think that we've talked about it in episodes in the past, like they should be able to do. They have the talent. This is on paper one of the more talented set of players that the US has ever had. A lot of these guys are playing in Europe. If you're going to actually advance and do these kind of stuff, I need now's the time to start, doing it. Start, showing you mean it. And if the guys that are, not able to play right now, aren't able, like, if they're not able to put the effort in, and maybe some of these MLS guys are, getting this experience now, even if they end up losing against Turkey. Turkey's not a terrible team, by the way. They're, I mean, they're not, j- top flight Argentina, Germany, what have you, but they're no schlout. They're
Right.
no whatever schlubs, whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Like they're
Right.
a solid team. So upcoming games tomorrow they're playing Switzerland. Okay. And then the next 3 games after that is Gold Cup. Okay. So Gold Cup is, it's maybe the last tournament I think before the World Cup. This is Trinidad and Tobago, Saudi Arabia, and Haiti. So we're gonna keep an eye on all of these games as well. Um, Kind of excited to see how the boys play. I'm. It sounds like effort is there, and that was one of the things I wanted to see. I wanted to see the mentality change. Like, uh, there's this USA needed a mentality check, or whatever. And maybe to start winning, you need to have a winner's mindset. And maybe sometimes you're gonna lose before you win, right? And we see that with a lot of teams. And maybe this is what's happening here right now. Maybe we're starting to see that kind of develop a little bit. And I'm not trying to say that they're gonna win the World Cup next year or anything like that. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but
Yeah.
I mean, if they're
But be
like it,
competitive,
yeah,
be a sound team, and
yeah.
it feels like we've been promised, or it's
Mhm.
been hyped that we're gonna get that, and it just hasn't really come to
Yeah.
fruition, and it'd be nice to just see that for once.
Yeah. They made it through the group stage into the knockouts in the last World Cup in Qatar in 2022.
Yeah.
I want to see them advance in the knockout stages this
Right.
coming World Cup. You're hosting it. Maybe you're going to get to play guaranteed 3 games at home because you have 3 group stage games. I want to see him play at least 5. I want to see him
Yeah,
play at least 5 home games. That if I see that, then I feel pretty good about that. If I see him play 6, that's an outright victory. Like you throw a parade if they get 6. Like as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Anything
Yeah.
anything more than 5 is icing on the cake. But I want to see 5 home games for the U.S. men's national team in this World Cup. Uh, it's for a team that has the talent that they claim to have. That should be bare minimum. And if they don't make it out of the group stage, now we're talking about the biggest disappointment in U.S. men's national team history. Is
Yep.
is what we're talking about. And this is before we even know who they're playing in the group stage or anything like that. And I don't want any excuses about that either. So like we'll worry about that when they do the draws later. And not we don't even know who all the teams are that are going to be playing. But first up, we have Switzerland.